Holy shit, have I been saying her name wrong this entire time? Greetings, neighbor! Welcome back to ARTV. My name is John, and it's time for another episode of I've Never Heard, the series where I take an artist or a band that I've never really listened to, and then I give my first thoughts and reaction, and make sure you stick around to the end because I listen to the songs more after I've reacted, and then I give my final thoughts and takeaway. Up for first reaction today, it's BEABADOOBEE, a Filipino-born British singer-songwriter who kinda, from what I understand, plays to like this 90s throwback, rock and alternative type of feel. And asterisk, I've never heard is not entirely true for this one because I've heard this one. Cry to pavement, I wish I was Stephen Malkmus. Yeah, that song. I've heard that one in full multiple times. I heard it first on a reaction stream that I did. A viewer requested it, and I loved the song, and I want to hear more. I've heard that. I've heard a sample to the song Care from her upcoming debut album Fake It Flowers, and I'm hoping that this gets me excited for it. I'm sitting down to react to 7 of her tracks. Timestamps are in the description. Make sure you hang around to the end of the video after I rate my thumbs up, thumbs down, or meh on each track. I'll come back, listen to the songs more, and come back a different day and film the rest of the video. Alright, time to react to BEABADOOBEE, BEABADOOBEE, BEABADOOBEE. It's fun to say that name, it really just rolls off the tongue. It took me a minute, but I got there, so if you're excited to hear me say her name a whole lot and also react to these songs, please leave a like on the video, subscribe for the love of music, and let's get started with She Plays Bass. I'm already loving the bass on this track, which, ironic, it's called She Plays Bass. Here you go. Crash, there you go. That's what I was looking for. It definitely reminds me of 90s. It just feels silky. The rhythm section feels really linked up. Bass and drums plus her vocals make this feel effervescent. It sounds good, but it's almost maybe a bit too 90s. I'm hoping that she breaks out a bit more as the track goes on. Okay, the transition to the chorus. She plays bass. It's very memorable already. I love the drum cash right into that. Wait, isn't this EP called Space Cadet? Yup, there you go, Space. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Thank you, guitar solo. This is a very 90s way of building suspense. And then drum hits and crash right back through. Okay. Whew, that was even better of a transition than I was hoping for. Really cool to see a Gen Zer. I believe she's 20 years old. Stick around to the end of the video because that's when I look up more info on these artists, but it seems like she plays the guitar herself, and it's nice to see somebody who is from this younger generation pushing this like alternative guitar-driven music, and that doesn't inherently mean it's great, but I really do think that she's captured something with the songs that I'm hearing so far. It could change as I check out different quarters of her discography, but overall, yeah, a thumbs up to She Plays Bass. It seems like she really had this yearning 90s vibe, whether she was obsessed with the idea of this girl that plays bass, whether it was romantic or just idolizing her, it worked for me a lot, and it got a lot better as the song went on, and as the bass, the guitars, the drums, and even that outro just became more passionate. Next up, we're moving into a song from her debut album. She put out a lot of EPs, but this is the first album that she's put out, Fake It Flowers. This is the lead single, Care. Why am I smiling already? Okay, see, a one-word chorus that can do, oh, this good of a job with that guitar at the end? That's an accent mark on top of it right there. Okay, I'm liking the play of the words. She's changing things. Cooperate, communicate. She's switching it up slightly to give it a little bit more emphasis. Okay, this is a chorus right here. Damn. That guitar outro at the end of the chorus. That's it, Chief. She's doing a nice job with these guitar solos. Is this her? Okay, I really like the outro of that song. That kind of tied everything together. I felt like it was about a relationship and maybe some mistrust or misguided feelings and not knowing if you can trust someone anymore. And there was a lot of repetition, but it also evoked a lot of the 90s spirit that I think a lot of my 90s nostalgia heads out there would agree. It sounds familiar, but not in a bad way. It's a sound that I think absolutely deserves to be revisited. She did it justice here on Care. Another thumbs up, 2 for 2 so far. I had heard the chorus when I previewed this song, and that's what I decided I wanted to do this video, but hearing the full thing in context, the repetition works, the outro ties it all back together, and yeah, I'm excited to keep rolling now. Song number 3. Not that BEABADOOBEE has been around all that long, but still, this is a bit of an older song. I think it was off of one of her early EPs, or maybe it was a standalone single. It's called If You Want To. Let's go. I'm already hearing a bit of evolution in her way of singing. Maybe the production of the song is different, but it's not a bad thing. You could just see her growth, I guess. I feel like this is just poised for a breakout moment. Lack of sleep takes half my brain. Been there. I feel like something in this song is almost hesitating a bit and making it not stand out as distinctly. I'm getting some early Soccer Mommy vibes from this, and I think that Soccer Mommy kept improving, and it seems like that's what BEABADOOBEE has done as well. It's a fine song, feels like a little bit of bedroom rock. If there's bedroom pop, there could be bedroom rock, okay? And she definitely nailed that down, kind of just like wanting someone, being young, teenage, having conflicting feelings. If you want to, it's fine, but I found the guitar tone to be a little bit flat, and overall this track's monotonous lyrics just didn't have that extra highlighter that I think the other songs that we've listened to thus far had. So I'm gonna say meh, but still not by any means bad. Up next, we're gonna listen to another older one that I noticed was pretty popular on Spotify. It's called The Moon Song, so let's see another older offering and if this one stands out a bit more than If You Want To. So this one's more of a duet. I know I said bedroom rock last time, but oh my god, this is bedroom. This is lo-fi AF. I'm noticing a lot of recurring themes of space in relationships, kind of bouncing back and forth in her songs. Who's the guy singing on this? Oscar Lang. Not familiar. I'm awake, I swear. In all seriousness, this one just kind of put me to sleep. It seems like she's definitely kind of hammered in a different sound as she's grown up a bit more. And this one just kind of felt like that dreamy, lo-fi, I'm missing someone type of thing. And there is a crowd and a place for that. I'm just probably not the target demo. And even past the lyrics, the sound just felt ridiculously dime a dozen. So, sorry, this is the first miss for me. Thumbs down. I'm actually really excited to give this next one a listen. We're gonna check out Coffee, which is the original version, of course, BEABADOOBEE's song, instead of just the sample that was done by Palfu on that song that I can't fucking stand, you know, Deathbed, Coffee for Your Head. Hopefully this one's a lot better in context, so let's find out.
I'll make a cup of coffee for your head. I'll get you up and go.
It sounds a lot better without those pitch shifting vocals that just make me do this. The whistling and her vocal presence on this one reminds me of like the late 2000s, early 2010s, something that I probably would have been more into then. Okay, kick up the tempo a little in the last verse. I think I was expecting a little bit more from that, because while it got a little bit better, I guess, in that final act where it picked up the pace a bit, this is just kind of chillin'. It's got the acoustic guitar, or I don't think that was a ukulele. Was that a uke? I'm pretty positive that was actually an acoustic, but I had heard the sample track and I was like, there's gotta be more to it, because I've heard some samples get done dirty, but this is the same melody. I think Palfu just added in the extra manipulated vocals on top of hers and his in the mix as well. It felt very crowded. This almost feels the opposite of that. It's a bit too isolated and forlorn, and it feels like it doesn't really have a true personality to it, and that just kind of drifts out of my head. I could understand why people maybe connect with it, but there's a lot better out there even in this space, and I'm gonna have to go meh. 2 more songs to go. We're on a bit of a dry run here. 3 in a row. We started off so strong, but we're coming back to a new single from Fake It Flowers called Worth It. So I'm expecting a lot more since this is newer material. Thank you. Dial it up already. Let's go. Let's go. We're ready. Definitely getting more personality from this one. Definitely feeling like it stands out a bit more. Even if it's not quite as great as Care. I don't know, is the chorus just kind of harping on like the same notes that na na na? Okay, I like the scuzzy tone there. Let's go for a big, big, big finale. That was a cute outro. I like the way the song ended. There were some great drum moments on the track. The guitars sounded nice. I had a little bit of an issue with her vocals kind of almost getting stuck in this valley, like the ha na 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 na, and then bouncing back to that over and over. It wasn't a bad idea, it sounds good, but I just wish that there was a little bit more variety vocally during the hook. I don't think this is a bad song, but I could also see myself getting rather tired of it quickly, so I'm a little bit hesitant to give a thumbs up, but I've only heard it this one time, so I'm saying light thumbs up for now, but we'll see if that changes once I've heard it more. Final react track, a little bit of a throwback once again. We're ending on Disappeared because, of course, I'm ghosting you right after this.
Not really, stick around, but it sounds cool if I say I'm disappearing.
This is off of the Love Worm EP. I like the cover art. I like the worm. This is that close your eyes and get sad type of hour. This one's already hitting a bit like a dagger emotionally. The keys and the pianos on top of this are actually adding a lot. You can tell this one is just gonna stay on a super chill wavelength. Like it's really just smoothed out, and it's also hitting you with this like relationship context. The definition of disappear seemingly changed throughout this track, and I do like that aspect of it. She was talking about my feelings have disappeared, I look at you, and that feeling has just disappeared, whatever it used to be. But as the song progresses, she kind of lets out these jaded emotions where it seems like maybe the partner disappeared, and that's why she's feeling so cheated on, maybe vulnerable, whatever. So it was a nice little palpable emotion-filled song that seemingly discussed a relationship. She did good on this one. I think I got a good sample of like some of her slower, mid-tempo, and also high-energy tracks, and this one is a thumbs up. I'm glad we ended on a high note. Alright, it's that time in the video where I go listen to the songs more and see if my feelings evolve and change at all, so expect the set change very quickly, and stick around for my final thoughts and verdict.
Several song-filled hours later.
Holy shit, have I been saying her name wrong this entire time? Okay, I'm back, and it was more than just a few music-filled hours later. It was actually days and days later, but the main point is that I've had some time to listen to Bee's music. I'm gonna be calling her Bee because apparently I've been saying it wrong, and that's just unfortunate because I said it a lot. A lot of the comments that I'll get with this I've Never Heard series are like, why don't you watch the music video, or react to that, or react to some of the live performances, whatever. And my answer to that is that as a music persona, a music critic, I guess is the term that I've had to adopt, I like to focus in on the music because that's the most important thing to me. I don't want that to distract or sway me one way or the other. Obviously, it's not that I'm opposed to watching the music videos or live performances or interviews. It's just that I like to go in cold, react to the music, give honest feelings, and then I go look up all of those things, and I've done that. I watched some interviews, I heard more about her, and I can understand her style where she's coming from. It's just that I like to let the music speak for itself first and see if anything else is just a cherry on top at the end. I learned a lot more about BEABADOOBEE, and I do respect where she's coming from, and the music, her influences, everything like that. It seems like she's a huge Pavement fan, which is a plus. I've gotten a lot more into them, a 90s group that are very underrated that I do recommend. I think that she definitely has that aesthetic about her, but she also has a voice that at times can remind me in her newer material from Fake It Flowers of like Avril Lavigne and some of the early 2000s, but with the production and the guitar sound and tone of the 90s. I've now gone back to all 7 of the songs that I reacted to, in addition to the track that I had already heard, I Wish I Was Stephen Malkmus, and maybe that's standing out as my favorite still overall, but just going off of the 7 that I listened to, I think Care is taking the cake for me as top of the pack. Looking at the titles of all these songs in front of me right now, I see several songs that have a lot of potential. For example, Worth It is absolutely a good cut, but it sounds better in a live performance setting. I feel like some songs just go off so much harder. Maybe the mixing is better for a concert or whatever. It just lends itself to that. Worth It is that song, and it's a very good track. It just punches harder. It feels limited with the mix that it has in the studio version. Still, a thumbs up overall for me, and I didn't really sway any of my opinions versus meh, like, dislike, anything like that coming back to these songs. I feel that her early stuff was a bit underwhelming to me, and the whole bedroom pop tag. It's not bad, but it also doesn't stand out all that much. It reminded me a bit too much of groups like Soccer Mommy, but now that she's starting to come into her own, I can appreciate her guitar skills. That was indeed her playing. Also, as a songwriter, I really think that she's starting to improve. She's starting to bloom in that regard. I think she's still very young, only 20 years old, but just to see some of the interviews with her, her guitar skills, the heart and the passion that she has for music, and even her backing band that support her and kind of fully round out that sound, there's a lot of room for growth and potential, and she's on the right track. Overall, I wouldn't say that I love BEABADOOBEE, but then again, I haven't heard everything she's done, and she hasn't even put out her first full-length album yet, but I'm looking forward to covering that. I'll be reviewing Fake It Flowers on my channel, so please make sure you're subscribed if you want to see that. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed seeing my first reactions and opinions on BEABADOOBEE, and if there's any other artists or bands that you'd like to see me do this with in the future, then please suggest away in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to check out the last episode that I did on Hobo Johnson, then tap this card over here, or tap here for another recent review. I'm going to be doing more of these episodes in the near future for bands like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, maybe Mastodon, maybe Ian Dior. I've gotten other suggestions that I think are good, so make sure you stick around. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon for more on